Hey Hadley, in this video I'm going to teach you how to construct a rectangle. First things first, because when we are talking about constructions, we're talking about accuracy, you're going to need a few things to get this done. First, a pencil, so that you can erase lines if you need to. Second, a ruler, because we want to measure properly using our metric units, centimeters, millimeters. And you're also going to need another tool, which is called a set square. That's that triangular thing that comes in your geometry set. You get two of them, you only need one of them, and either of them works. Why do we need this tool? Well, I'll tell you right away. We've learned in class that a polygon's height is always 90 degrees to its base. That means that we're always going to create a 90-degree angle between a base and a height of any shape. And because it needs to be exactly 90 degrees, we need something that's going to give us a 90-degree angle. So we have this thing here, which is called a set square, and you can see that there's a 90-degree angle on it. So if I line up one side with any line that I create, I'm always going to be creating a 90-degree on that other side. So that's going to be really helpful to us. But if you don't have a set square, well, all you need is anything that has a 90-degree corner. So for example, this has a 90-degree corner, so I could line up one side here and another side here. I could use a cue card, for example, which is another thing that has 90-degree angles. A nice sharp corner. I can use one side there and one side there. What you want to avoid using, though, is a ruler, because a ruler doesn't have as much length on one side, so it becomes very easy to wobble around and not get an accurate 90-degree angle. So use something like a set square. That's the best thing that you can use. But in a pinch, there are other tools too. Okay, so our question says construct a rectangle with a base of 5 centimeters and a height of 3 centimeters. Great. The first thing you're always going to do is draw the base line. And because we're drawing a rectangle, we're going to work from the bottom up. Meaning, I'm not going to start right here, because then I'll be working into our question. So I'm going to actually go down a few lines and start down here. The first step is to accurately draw a baseline of 5 centimeters. So I'm going to start making sure that I'm on metric units, not on inches. This is not the side that you want. This says inches. We need centimeters and millimeters. So here's my centimeter mark telling me that that's where I am. I'm going to start exactly at 0. You'll notice that my ruler goes over a little bit past 0. That's not what I want to do. I always want to be accurate, so I'm going to make sure that my pencil is exactly on 0. And I'm going to draw that line that's exactly 5 centimeters long, stopping exactly at the 5 centimeter mark. There's my line. To show my audience that I know, or my teacher that I know, what 5 centimeters is and that it's the base, I'm going to write that in. Base is equal to 5 centimeters. That way it's very obvious. Now I need to draw a height of 3. Here's where my set square comes in. Because a polygon's height is always 90 degrees to its base, I'm going to take my set square and I'm going to line up one side of it on my baseline that I've just created. Now I'm going to be very accurate. I'm not going to make sure it's tilted. I want to make sure that that lines up exactly right. And the other side of it is going to create a 90-degree angle. So you can see that I have a problem here. I can't measure exactly 3 centimeters with this set square because it doesn't start at 0. So if I go from here and measure to 3, I'm going to be wrong. So what I'm going to do instead is draw something that I call a construction line, which is just a faint line upwards that's going to tell me where I have to draw my final 3 centimeter line. So now I can take back my ruler and I can put the end of my baseline right on 3 centimeters, and then the rest of it could line up with that construction line that I just made. And now I can darken in that 3 centimeter line. So this is my height, that's 3 centimeters. And you can see that I've made a perfect 90-degree angle. Well, what's next? Okay, well, I know I need to connect these two lines, but I have to do that with accuracy. So if I just brought my ruler over here and tried to draw a straight line, there's no guarantee that I'm going to be straight. So I actually need my set square again. This time, I'm going to create a 90-degree angle at this corner, and the way that I'm going to do that is by lining up one side of my set square with the height line that I just drew. And now I'm going to draw a construction line in the other direction. Very faint, but I'm going to measure now, coming back with my ruler, putting it on 0, exactly 5 centimeters. There we go. Now it becomes very easy to connect those two lines. And if I've done it right, then each one of those angles should be exactly 90 degrees. Because this is a rectangle, I know that this side is also going to be 3 centimeters, and this side is also going to be 5 centimeters, because the definition of a rectangle is 4 90-degree angles, opposite sides are equal and parallel. And I have exactly that. I can check right here. And there we go. That's how I construct an accurate rectangle with geometry tools.